We all know how the Fantastic Four ended up at the hands of 20th Century Fox. Apparently, back in the 90s, there was like a thing where Marvel had to sell the rights to their characters. They end up with their most of their lesser known characters, while they were forced to give up their bigger characters to other studios. The Fantastic Four fell into Fox's hands, but what if the Fantastic Four were in the Infinity Saga and not the Multiverse Saga, which was when they made their debut in the MCU right now? So in this timeline, after the failure of Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, Fox would have given up the rights of the Fantastic Four back to Marvel for obvious reasons. The failure of the movie would be imprehensible. It just makes way too much sense if you ask me. But let's begin, shall we? The first movie is Iron Man. It's basically the same. Honestly, it's just the same movie. Next movie is The Incredible Hulk. Movie is also the same. Then again, things would change when Ant-Man comes out. The only reason why I'm bringing up Ant-Man is because there's a debate on who is smarter, Reed Richards or Hank Pym. And I think this could work here. Now, in terms of who would play Hank Pym, it would be Ian McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead would play Janet. Essentially, the villain would be Egghead, with Whirlwind as a secondary villain. And the film would be set in the 2000s. And the movie could end with them getting married, and more specifically, Janet would be pregnant with their son, Henry Jr., during the second act, and then would give birth. So yeah, the wedding would have happened at the beginning, most likely. And the birth of their son would force them to retire as heroes. Next movie is Iron Man 2. Movie is mostly the same, except Reed Richards and Hank Pym would make cameos. Likely as old colleagues of Tony Stark. Now, in terms of who would play Reed Richards, it would be John Krasinski. Next movie is Thor. Movie's the same, honestly. Except there would be a mention of Johnny Storm, who would be played by Zac Efron and would want some sort of power that relates to electricity, thus setting him up to become the Human Torch, setting up the Fantastic Four even more. Next movie is Captain America: The First Avenger. It's basically the same movie, except the very first Human Torch, not Johnny Storm, but the original Human Torch, would appear as an ally of Captain America, and he would die during the final battle, likely being killed by Red Skull. Next movie is Avengers. Movie's the same, except Hawkeye would be play less of a role, and we just have Hank and Janet join the team like in the comics, and there would be a set for the Fantastic Four at the end. And Human Torch, well, Johnny would have idolized Captain America, kind of like Spider-Man. And Thor would give the name Human Torch to Johnny, and Mr. Fantastic, probably someone like Tony Stark or Hank Pym, to Reed. Next movie is Fantastic Four. The film would not be an origin story, as that would be kind of like a thing in the beginning. The film would be similar to Jeremy Slater's original script for Fanforstic. I keep on using this because that's the version of Fanforstic we should have gotten. I could have seen Emily Blunt as Sue, while Ben would be played by the same actor who played him in First Steps. Doctor Doom would serve as more of the secondary villain, likely being built up with Cillian Murphy playing him, while Mole Man is the main villain. And would be played by Danny DeVito. As for a secondary villain, that would probably be someone like Wizard, who I could see being played by Ian McShane. So that's why the Fantastic Four were in the Infinity Saga. I know some of you may be disappointed by the fact that I held the Fantastic Four off as the epilogue to Phase 1, but I just think Marvel would still want to build to the Avengers and save the Fantastic Four for the epilogue. The only reason why I didn't make that the case in my what if the MCU had all the rights to their characters from the beginning videos because they likely would want to introduce the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, sooner than later. Same thing with Spider-Man. But that's just me. Anyways, stay tuned for Phase 2, which is an early work in development, but still. See ya.